Hi, everybody. This is take two. We all know how I like to do this multiple times, but my name is Amy. This is Mimi Stitchery. You have found my Floss Tube channel where I talk mostly about cross stitch. Today I have cross stitch and I also have knitting. Welcome to all of my returning subscribers. Thanks for hanging in there. And for all the new ones, thanks for coming and deciding that I'm worth watching. I wanted to put a huge thank you out to everybody. There's been a huge amount. Oh, I just moved my laptop. Huge amount of support out there for my mom. She can be found over on Grandma Nana Stitches. She's put 2 floss tube videos up, and she's very popular. I'm not shocked because she does very good floss tubes, and she stitches. I think it gives her motivation to stitch more, the fact that she's doing a floss tube. I just it kind of makes me giggle about the YouTube algorithm and that whole thing, but it's okay. She was just here. We just had a birthday dinner for my oldest daughter, Ashley. Happy birthday, Ash. And everybody just left, so I thought I would try filming this again. So last time I filmed, the lighting is horrible today. It is, I think I said this already, Sunday, January 29th. It is now 4 o'clock in the afternoon, so light is fading fast. It is a dreary day here. And so the lighting earlier was really funky, so I wasn't really happy with how the lighting was coming out anyway. But then I started flubbing around with a bunch of stuff, and the camera stopped working, and it was just a little bit of a crazy pants thing. So I decided to give up, refresh myself, go enjoy the birthday dinner, and then I would try again. I'm sipping on water because, well, we drink water anyway, right? This last week I got plunged neck deep into my teaching schedule, and I was doing a lot of talking. The last 2 days I did a Friday and a Saturday orientation where I was talking a lot of the time, and today on and off the voice sounds funky. Do you know what I mean? So I'll apologize for that right out of the get-go, but it is what it is. What do I have today? I have a finish. I have a new start. I have WIPGO completions for January in that I completed what I wanted to get done for WIPGO. I have my plans for February. I have an update on 2 of my knitting projects. Actually, I think I can update you on all 3 because I think I've knitted on all 3. I'm pretty sure because it's been a couple weeks since I've done a floss tube. I did a stitch with me. Floss tubes are a little tough right now, but we're going to try to do them on Sundays. It could be later in the day on Sunday, depending on the rest of my schedule. A little crazy. If you hear my husband coming in and out, he is dealing with some stuff outside. And my dog Ralph is hanging around. We scheduled his surgery. So those of you that are following along with our Ralph saga, we scheduled a surgery to have his left ACL repair done on March 2nd. So we've noticed that he just keeps re-injuring it and keeps pulling it up. So we really need to address that sooner rather than later. And yeah, we're going to have that done on March 2nd. All right, let me show you your finish. I don't have to show you the pattern because I finished. This is the reindeer. Sorry about the light, guys. Now we have harsh artificial lighting. But here's the reindeer. It is stitched on 36 count. It's a mystery linen by Bee Stitch Me. Did it with the called for Fancy Floss and DMC. I finished him last night. Gail and I'm stitching the series with Gail from Gail's Golden Needle. If you are not watching her floss tube, you should go check her out. We are stitching the series. We now have 6 of them done. So halfway through, we are going to the bear next. I think I might try to speed up the pace on these so that I can rock them out, but we'll see how that goes. I decided to make monthly goals when we got into the new year, and I talked about that in a previous video. So if you need more information on those types of things, you can go back a couple videos and I talk more about that. January, I was able to meet all of my goals, whether it be stitching, knitting, reading, whatever, but I was not fully into taking classes or teaching classes until this last 2 weeks for taking classes, and this last week for both. I am unsure if I will be able to keep up as I go through the year or this semester. That doesn't mean I won't be able to. I'm just trying to be real about things. So on my WIPGO boards, I have 2 WIPGO boards. One is, and I forgot to bring them in with me again. I forgot them last time too. One is categories. So for instance, I have fall or Halloween, summer or patriotic, spring. I think it's just spring. I don't remember what that category is. And winter or Christmas. And then I have like samplers. I have lots of categories, and there's a miscellaneous category. For this month's WIPGO, my first miscellaneous category was called, and I finished Tired Trio, which you can see hanging right there. I showed it in my last floss tube, so I'm not going to show it to you again today. The second number that was called on my regular WIPGO board was fall or Halloween. So I chose, let me see if I don't have all the pictures here with me because I'm just trying to do this ad hoc. I chose to stitch on Halloween Quaker, which, let me see if I have a picture here. Yes, right there. Halloween Quaker by Leela Studio. I'm stitching this on 28 count Anubis from Under the Sea Fabrics. I had all this folded the first time, right? That's how it always works with floss tube, I swear. It's that and the itchy nose thing. And this is where I've gotten to. Sorry, I know the lighting really stinks tonight, so we'll see if we can remember to show them on this side where the lighting is good. So far I got Fall Halloween is on my board several times, and I believe I will probably keep pulling this out, to be quite honest. So that's how far I got on that, but I completed the 3 days. On each WIPGO board is 3 days. Whether that's 15 minutes I get to stitch that day or whether that's several hours, it is what it is. On my full coverage board, the WIPGO calls that were called were, this is, I don't think I have a picture of this one, and I forgot my tablet this time. But I don't think I have one. Hold on. It is Grand Library. Artwork is by Amy Stewart. It's charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. I'm stitching it on 28 count, 2/1 tent. And so here we go. Here we are. So this right here is the bottom of the first shelf. So I had decided that I was going to work down till I got to what I thought was the bottom of the first shelf, and then I'm going to start working across the shelf. And so this got well over 1,000 stitches, and it's starting to take shape. So I completed my 3 days on that. I am trying to stitch on the full coverage on days that I might be off or have more time to stitch. So that's that. My second full coverage that was called, and I don't have the picture here, but if you've been around, you've seen this a million times. This is Lost No More. This is a Dimensions Gold kit. It is called Lost No More. This is my oldest WIP, started back in the 90s, put away, brought out a couple years ago to finish. So I did a stitch with me last week, and I got all the herd of sheep done here and a stone wall. These all need to be back stitched, and then we'll see them more clearly like we do over here. And a lot of this path right here, this whole area, is half stitches. So I'd like to get this back on my stand and start putting all that in. And lucky for me, it was called again, but stay tuned. So those are my WIPGO pieces. I met all 4 WIPGO goals. One of the other goals I have is to stitch on a wedding piece for my daughter. So Courtney, if you're watching, you need not be watching for the next few minutes. If you start watching, it is to your own fault. My daughter's getting married in August. This is a piece I'm working on for her and her future husband, Jack. And this is The Adventure Begins by Nikki's Patterns. And it's extremely appropriate for them in that they like traveling. And they plan to travel more as the years go by. So this is going to be their wedding sampler. I am stitching this. I think I said the wrong fabric last time. This is 40 count Morning Dove. I think I called it Navy Bean last time. 40 count Morning Dove by Lakeside Linens. And you can see I park threads. It's because I'm a notoriously bad counter. So this fabric has a very light blue-gray tint to it. It's going to wash out there. It looks a little more accurate closer up, but not much. It washes it out. And I have to get 1,200 stitches a month in order to get it done in June. Give me time to frame it and do whatnot. And I met that goal this month. And the other stitch, I showed you the reindeer, was my start this morning. And this, Gail from Gail's Gold Needle and I started this. We do a Sunday morning Zoom call. I got a little wing here. Sunday morning Zoom call, early Sunday morning, to start to stitch on our Cottage Garden Samplings series together. So this morning we started the bear. We kind of went out of order because the reindeer came out and we'd already done the swans and the fox, and those are the other 2 winter animals. And since we're in winter, we wanted to get all the winters together, so we did the reindeer. But now we have, I think it's the bear, eagle, owl are all summer. And then the bat, the beaver, and I'm totally missing something, are the fall. You're all going to be yelling at me. I don't remember which one it is. But I started the bear. I'm stitching it on 40 count Grace Notes fabrics in the colorway Earl Grey. 1/2 with the call for Fancy Floss and DMC. Let's see if I can get this up so you can see it. It's 40 count, so the stitches are small. So I did 1 cattail, started another cattail, and I brought the stem all the way down and started this curve. And as soon as I'm done with this floss tube and a little bit of homework, I'm going to start outlining some of the bear here so I can go back and forth. This part's not my favorite part. The animal is. So I'll go and start outlining the bear so I can stitch in the bear, and then I'll put a couple threads in over here, and by the time it's all done, it'll be all done. But thoroughly enjoying it so far, as I've enjoyed all of them. It has been really good. And that is all my cross stitch WIPs. So let's go to plans on cross stitch before we go any further. The WIPGO calls were called for February. I believe the numbers were 7 and 11. I think it was 7 and 11. I may not be right there. But I can tell you on my full coverage, Lost No More was called again, so this will come back out. Where is it? My other full coverage that was called was bonded in the rain. I do have a picture of that here somewhere, I believe. Yes. Oh, it's bonded by the rain. I keep saying in the rain. It is this. My cover sheet's kind of ratted up. It is artwork by Leonid Afromov. It is charted by Heaven and Earth Design. I am stitching this on 28 count Lugana 2/1 tent stitch. And I'm happy this is coming back out. Hold it in front of my face. So you can see I worked myself all the way over to the other side last time I had this out. So this time I'm going to start filling in and bringing it down like the other side. I may go back to doing Royal Rose on this. Yeah. But it's beautiful. I love the colors. Anxious to have this back out. Looking forward to that. The other on my regular WIPGO board, chatelaine is one of my categories. I currently have 2 chatelaines in my rotation. The one that's going to come out, sorry, I have kind of a stack over here on the side of my plans, is Mushroom and Fern. This is being stitched on 28 count Mushroom Lugana with all the called for. And this is where I am currently. And I'm looking forward to stitching on this some more. I said this last year. I really kind of wanted to get this done last year. I barely worked on it last year. I think this year might be its year. At least to get almost there so that early in 2024 I can get it done. But I do think I'm going to concentrate on Mushroom and Fern and try to get it knocked out this year. The other one that was called was my category winter or Christmas. No, it was summer or patriotic. I'm pulling out my Queen of Freedom. And this is where I am now. This is the one I'm doing 1/1 skin on. So my thought is to do a couple threads of 1/1 skin, move to her dress. A couple threads of 1/1 skin, move to her dress, and get some progress on the skin so I can move past it. Really loving my mirrors. I have a Nora I'd like to start, and I have another mirror I'd like to start. But I'd like to get one, either this one or Royal Holiday, done before I do that. I love stitching on them. Never thought I would be a mirror girl, but there you go. The other plan that I have this month is to finish. This is my Floss Tube Friends stitch that I'm doing with a bunch of Floss Tube friends. And this dress represents Corinne from Grace Knows Fabrics. She picked purple for her dress. It's a round robin that's not a round robin. And I need to have her completed by the end of February. So that will be in my goals as well. And the wedding sampler needs another 1,200 stitches. So that's my stitching plans for February. I'll go ahead and show you some haul. This will be the last... Okay, this is going to be the last haul that you see that I purchased for this year. Because honestly, I said it last year, I have quite the stash that I can stitch from. I have plenty of things kitted up from stash that I can stitch, that I want to stitch, and all of that jazz. So, yeah. I won't be buying anymore. I bought some in January. I'm just not going to buy anymore. That I showed you already. So, Tiffany and I were talking about mirrors. I ended up purchasing Electra, which I showed in my Stitch With Me. So if you were there during the Stitch With Me, you've already seen this, but I thought I'd show it here. And I also got the bead pack. I think I'm going to stitch her on a gray, not on a brown, but we'll see what I can find in my stash, and I'm not starting her yet. But there's that. I have this pattern, Tree of Hope, from Mirabilia. This pattern, I had this in my stash, this pattern. I bought the bead pack. I also bought the water lilies. Hold, please. The water lilies. So that's my stash there. No wonder I want to stitch this, right? Blues and greens. It shocked me at all. I also bought a bead pack for a pattern I don't have yet, but I want to get because I have two sisters and I think this would be cool to stitch with them in mind. This is called Circle of Friends, and I bought the bead pack. I am going to buy the pattern and the floss. My friend Tiffany, I'm going to mention her a lot. She's from Black Cat Stitchery. If you don't know about her, you should search her on Instagram. She makes awesome bags. I show them here on my channel. Yeah. She was at a stitching retreat, and at the stitching retreat, I think it was a stitch day, Farmhouse Flossies was there. And Farmhouse Flossies has a Facebook page for floss, but I never get there in time to get any. So I'm trying to see if I have something here to put them against. I'm going to show you some flosses that she picked up for me. It's funny because we did a video call and she showed me the rack that they were all on, and I just picked out a bunch of colors, and then I paid Farmhouse Flossies by PayPal, and it was good. This is Blueberry Buckle. If I have two of one, I'm going to show you both. This is Gecko, and I have two of them. This harsh lighting is crazy. This is a cleanup crew. It's a 10-yard skein. This is when she's done dyeing. She then takes and soaks up the leftover dye into a cleanup crew. It's not really showing really well. It's got all sorts of different colors in there. Is this two of them? Yes. So this is 2 skeins of Ocean Waters. Let's do it this way. This is the Midnight Hour. It's kind of it's not showing really well, and there's lavenders and grays and blues. This is Red Winged Blackbird. Angry Clouds. This is Thin Mint. This may wash out completely. Oh, that's pretty washed out. It's a little brighter green than that, but it's called Thin Mint. I think I actually have, nope. That's Thin Mint. So this one's Thin Mint, and this one's Jadeite. They're very similar, but one's obviously lighter than the other. This is Sweet Dreams. It's like a, I don't know how to describe it. It's like a gray white. Very cool. And then this last one is Java Blue. So it has mochas and blues in there. Very pretty. And that's my stash enhancement. So now I can put that away. So that's good. Again, it's not that I can't buy things. I just don't want, I have so much that I just want to stitch that's already here that I really don't need to buy stuff. So I'm going to have wish lists and gift lists and things. Yeah, sorry. I got itchy eye right now. Floss tube itchy eye. It's the itchy nose, itchy eye. I just don't need to. I feel like it's in excess, and I don't really want to be living in excess like that. So, and I have other things to concentrate on. Still itchy. I'm going to try to get it so that I can actually open my eye and look like a normal human being. There we go. All right. So if that was the stitching and you're only here for the stitching and you don't want to see the knitting, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for liking the video, subscribing, and sharing me with your friends. I truly appreciate the community that's here. It feeds my soul more than you know to see comments and to interact with all of you. It's quite the mental health boost for me. So I thank you for that, and I will see you next time. If you have stuck around for the knitting, I have 3 to show you. So there's no really set goals on the first 2. This is a pair of socks that I'm making for my daughter, and I believe my oldest daughter, the one that's birthday was today. These were not meant to be for her birthday, so I'm not late. They're just something that I'm making for her. She picked the yarn, and I'm making a footy sock as that's what she likes. And this is as far as I've gotten on her first sock. So all the gusset decreases are completed, and I'm back to knitting in the round until I get to the toe. So that's easy knit, and I just pick it up when I can. My goal for January was to finish my other pair of socks, which I've already finished and shown you all, and I've actually worn them a couple times. I have no true goal in February for the socks, only to knit on them. So that's that. I'm using the cuff down vanilla sock pattern from Crazy Sock Lady. So go visit her, give her some love on her YouTube channel. And if you've never learned how to knit socks and you want to learn, she has a ton of tutorials there for you, and I find them extremely helpful. Okay. So that's that. It's in a bag that was made for me by my cousin. Perfect bag. This other knitting project is a cowl from Forbidden Fiber Co. It came as a kit. This pattern is very much beat up. It is called the Clover Cowl, designed by Leanne Ross from Forbidden Fiber Co. Those colors in there are a little deceiving. Those are not the colors that I got in my kit. And my goal on this is simply to knit it. And usually, before the semester started, I was in the office 5 days a week, so I would stitch it on my lunch hour, or I would knit on it on my lunch hour. Now that I'm only in the office 1 day a week, I suppose I can still knit on it on my lunchtime here at home, but I'm not taking it to clinical. Maybe I will. Who knows? I'll move my progress keeper after I show you today, but I've gotten through the color work section, and you can actually see the clovers. And I'm into my first section of stripes. So after this, there will be a blue stripe and then a green stripe. And then there'll be another section of color work. It's all curled up at the bottom. The blocking should help that. So now I will move, while I'm here, I will move the progress keeper up to where I am now. And if I knit on it again, I will show it to you. January was really like a false read month for me as far as ability to meet my goals. This is in a bag that I made out of Lori Holt's utility fabric, I think it was called. Nice bags, nice fabric. Really not sure if I'm going to be able to keep up with my goals or not. And I think February will be a very good way to find that out. So I'm looking forward to that, going through February and finding out if my goals are too much or, yeah, and I'll adjust accordingly if they are. The final knitting WIP that I have to show is my Hue Shift Afghan. X-Stitch MD is the one that was knitting this and got me started on this. I think it was like 2 years ago now. And then it just kind of went in. I got the pattern and the yarn from Knit Picks. The pattern designer is Karen DeMiller Lawrence, I think. It's called the Hue Shift Afghan, and I got it in the Bejeweled tones. So let me see if I can find. Yeah, those are the colors. No, maybe that's not. Let me see if I can find the sheet I just had it open to, but totally didn't keep it open to. Let me see. That's Bravo Sport. Mighty Stitch Rainbow. Where is it? I'm doing the Bejewel, Bravo Sport Jewel colorway. So mine actually is this kind of colorway. So that's what I'm working on. My goal on this is 2 squares a month, which will get it done, I believe by next October, or this October, which then gives me the rest of the year to knit. Sorry, got a yawn. Sorry, didn't want to yawn, but sometimes stuff happens. To knit the black border that goes around. I am on my last square for this week. Let me see if I can get this so it'll show right. So there. Can you guys see that? I'm on my last square for the week. These are done in 5x5 sections. So next week, if I'm able to keep my goal, I will do this square here and start the final row of squares down here. Are there mistakes in this? Yep, I've already pointed them out on one of my floss tubes, but I'm getting much better. And you can see the progression. I like this Afghan because it's showing my progression of the knitting, which I very much am enjoying that part of it. I taught myself how to knit several years back, but really the last year or so I've been concentrating on that skill. And honestly, knitting is something that I can do later in the day when my eyes are tired. Throat's getting dry. So I like it. I'm getting more to the point where, especially if it's socks and I'm just knitting in the round, I don't always have to be looking at it either, which makes it convenient if I want to watch TV. I think that is it. Looking around just to make sure. I think that is it. I think I've showed you everything. A bit of a life update. I've already mentioned a couple times I'm back to teaching students, in session with that, and I'm in session with my final semester of my master's program. My work schedule kind of stinks a little bit, and that I don't get a couple days off to just work on stuff, but it'll be okay. It'll all be okay. I'm a little tired today, as you can see, but it's all good, right? We lost a friend a couple days on Thursday evening that was my age. He collapsed and passed away, which is difficult. And I feel like we've had a year of loss, different degrees of loss, and I think Matt and I are getting ready to make some changes to be able to serve better, to work less, to be stressed less, and better serve our family and friends and our community, and do things that we want to do but currently have no time to do because we, have full-time jobs and we caregive parents. So we're getting ready to make some lifestyle changes, so stay tuned for those. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else. We have Ralph's surgery coming. I still have a sinus thing going on, as you can hear, which is just annoying. But winter in New York, right? I said something to my husband the other day about one day I don't want to be here in the wintertime. I think New York is absolutely beautiful in the Finger Lakes, spring, summer, and fall. I'm not a fan of winter. Never have been. That doesn't get any better as I get older. So I think we're going to start looking at that too. But thanks for being here. Thanks for tolerating my yawning, my tired face, and all of that stuff. I appreciate it. And thanks for giving my mom a ton of support. If you haven't seen my mom, it is Grandma Nana Stitches on FlossTube. She's put 2 videos up. Both are good. And I talked to her today. because somebody reached out to me because they didn't know her first name. Her first name is Linda. I thought maybe there was a reason she didn't introduce her first name, but there wasn't. It was just an oversight. And her first name is Linda. She's at Grandma Nana Stitches. Head over there, give her some love. And I will see you guys all on the flip side. Bye.